everyone. Welcome to 2018 performance result of THORESEN Thai Agency Public Company Limited on SET Digital Roadshow. On my right here is Mr. Jitender Paul Verma, Group CFO.
Hello. Hi.
And myself, Patha Pungthanyapuk, Senior IR Manager. Today agenda, we will start with company overview by Mr. Jitender and back to me on financial performance. And then Mr. Jitender will conclude on market outlook. During the presentation, you feel free to submit your question. We will answer after we complete the presentation. Okay, Mr. Jitender, please start.
Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to give you a company overview about THORESEN, or you can call it a THORESEN group at a glance. This group was established in 1904 in Asia, so has a more than 100+ years of backing and the financial strength. In Thailand, this was TTA as a company, THORESEN Thai Agencies, was established in 1983 and listed on the stock exchange in 1995. We are headquartered in Bangkok, Thailand, but we do business in 10 countries around the world, covering 3 different continents. And of course, our ships move around all over the globe. So it's pretty much a global international company. In terms of the shareholding structure, the shareholding is predominantly local investors holding roughly about two-thirds of the shareholding. The majority share is held by another Thai family, the Mahagitsiri family. They own roughly about 28% of the shares. And the foreign investors currently own about 7 to 8% of the outstanding shares. The dividend policy for the company remains at least 25% of the consolidated net profits after taxes, subject to company's investment plans. The market capitalization as of now stands at about 10 billion baht, or roughly about $318 million US dollars. The strategic business portfolio of the TTA group consists of 4 major segments. First and foremost being shipping. Second is offshore services, agrochemical, and investments. In the shipping sector, we are majorly in dry bulk shipping sector, owning the dry bulk ships of Handymax and Handysizes. Offshore services, we provide subsea services, and through our associate, we also provide drilling services. On the agrochemical side, we are in the business of having a fertilizer plant in Vietnam and distributing products within Vietnam, as well as exporting to other countries, nearby countries, as well as far off in Africa. The revenue structure for 2017 and 2018 between shipping and offshore comprises almost 2/3 of the business, roughly about 64% for 2018 and about 67% for 2017. The agrochemical business takes another 20%. So between these 3 major business segments, we cover 84% of all our revenue, and the other investments remain at 16%. The stated goal of the company is to make more investments into more stable businesses to avoid the volatility of the shipping business, and the intention is to bring these stable businesses to roughly about 50% of the revenue, and we continue to strive towards that goal. Next is a summary of the key changes and key events which happened during 2018 and immediately thereafter until the reporting date. In the shipping sector, we had during 2018 bought 2 vessels. At the same time, we also sold 2 vessels. So net, we still remained the original number of 21 ships. For offshore services business, in this year we had taken a scheduled dry docking for all the major assets, all the 4 vessels we have, and that actually was the main reason for slight losses on the offshore service business, which was not because of any other major reasons. We made new investments in Taco Bell. We took over the franchise for Taco Bell from Yum International, and we will plan to do roughly about 40 stores going forward in the next 5 years. We also invested in a water business, company called Asia Infrastructure Management, or AIM. We own about 80% of AIM. During the year, we also have raised debentures worth 3,300 million baht and repaid debentures on scheduled time of 2,000 million baht in July of this year, 2018. The star was the award which our company received as the Asia's most influential company at the ACES award ceremony for 2018. In terms of the financial highlights, TTA reported net profits consecutively for the second year at about 210 million. And shipping segment within these profits delivered the highest net profit in 10 years at roughly about 1 billion baht. The net EBITDA positive was about 1.5 billion baht for this year. All this converted to a strong capital structure, which was reflected by low net interest bearing debt of equity at 0.12 times at the end of 2018. And we look forward to the upturn in shipping market as depicted by the rising BDI prices. And on the other side, we continuously try to keep enhancing our performance by maximizing efficiency and minimizing our costs. With this, I'll hand over the slides to Kunpatra to take you through the rest of the presentation, and then I will come back for the outlook and question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's take a look at the key business driver or indicators. We will talk about 2 business segments, which are shipping and offshore service, because these 2 together is a 60 to 70% to total revenues. For shipping business, we can take an indicator by monitor the Baltic Dry Index or BDI index. Okay, BDI is a reflection of the demand and supply of the dry bulk. And in 2017, BDI had an average of 1,145 points, and it's increased to an average of 1,353 points in 2018. Okay, as due to the imbalance of supply demand in the bulker sector. And for offshore service, we can take oil price as a we can imply oil price as a business driver. However, for our offshore service, we focus on subsea service. So it may have a lagging effect from the oil price. Okay, so let's take a look at the oil price. The Brent crude oil has rose from 2017 at $55 per barrel to $72 per barrel in 2018. And it reached the highest point in October 2018, and then it's decreased toward the end of the year of 2018. So you can see that the oil price is still volatile, and to stabilize the crude oil market, so OPEC and non-OPEC oil producer decided to cut the oil production during January to June in 2019. So I hope that will be help boost the offshore service segment as well. Take a look at the overall consolidated income statement of TTA. The revenue is in line with the last year performance, and we have a strong EBITDA of 1.5 billion baht in 2018, with a net profit to TTA of 210 million baht, which is a positive for the second consecutive year after the bottom of shipping industry in 2016. But on quarterly basis, the revenue increased year on year and Q on Q, but the net profit, they have a loss from offshore service due to the offshore service. They have one vessel sent for dry docking, so the overall for fourth quarter is lost 41 million baht. However, we have strong financial position as depicted by the debt interest bearing debt to equity as low as 0.12 times, and we have high liquidity. We don't have a lump sum debt payment until 2021, which is the maturity year of the bond. And then for the equity, we have equity slightly decreased, but due to we pay some dividend. Though we have a positive net profit, and we also get an effect from foreign currency translation from foreign operation as well. Okay. Now on slide 13 is a shipping segment operation performance. Take a look at the upper left chart. This is our TCE rate compared to the net market rate. The blue line is our rate, and the gray line is net market rate. You can see that our rate is in line with the net market rate. But lately, in 2018, we outperformed the net market rate. You can see that the blue line is above the gray line. And in 2018, we have TCE of 11,591 US dollar per day per vessel, and outperform net market rate by 9%. And back to the upper left chart, this is our utilization rate. We got near 100% utilization rate. That means our ship, our vessel, they work almost every day that they can work. Okay, so we really effective fleet. And the vessel working day in the chart, you can see that number of days is increased noticeably. Okay, and the high and the lower left chart is our revenue, our TCE rate compared with the cost. We are one of the lowest cost of OPEC of the Supermax in the world. We can say that. Okay, and you can see that our cost is we can maintain our cost as low as for the OPEC is around 3,600 US dollar per day per vessel, and the gray line is our TCE. You can see that we got bigger and bigger gap between revenue and the cost. That means we got higher margin quarter by quarter. And at year end, our shipping segment have 21 vessels, but with a bigger size at 55,285 deadweight ton average per vessel, and we have younger age. Average age is 11.71 years. As we continue fleet renewal, as Kun Jitender said, in 2018, we bought 2 ships and we sold 2 ships. Our fleet, okay, same amount, but younger fleet and bigger fleet and higher efficiency. As a good operation result, they come out to a good financial result. Shipping segment deliver the highest result in 10 years. Okay, the freight revenue increased 45% years on year to almost 6 million baht. Okay, and driven by the improved freight rate and the higher fleet capacity. The per day gross margin improved from 57% in 2017 to 68% in 2018 as the freight rate was higher and operating cost was maintained. Okay, net profit amount to 1 billion baht. For offshore service, the chart on the right is our utilization rate and vessel working day. As in 2018, our all 4 main vessels were off hire for scheduled dry docking, and total dry docking period was 163 days in total. However, in 2019, all ship no scheduled dry docking, so we are ready to work in 2019. So from the chart, you can see our utilization rate in 2018 is 52% compared to the 53% in 2017. So it's in line with the last year, but however, with the lower vessel working day due to the dry docking day and the lower demand from charter-in vessel, you can see that the gray column here is reduced due to that is the charter-in, and the blue column is our own fleet. You can see we maintain the own fleet vessel working day because we have a strong demand in Middle East. Our own fleet is service for Middle East clients. And for the charter-in, we service for Southeast Asia region. So the demand in charter-in is reduced. So at the end of the year, so we don't hire any charter-in vessel. On the other hand, on during service, our 3 high specification jack-up rig, they operate as almost near 100% utilization rate because they have long-term contract with in the Middle East. The contract will expire in 2019. There are 3 contracts, and we have renewed 1 contract and with a chance to renew the other 2 as well. And the offshore service also sold 2 very old tender rigs in 2018. This rig is a non-performing asset. We put it in cold stack, and we can sell it at the price higher than its book value. So 2018 was a challenging year for offshore service because all main ships were sent for dry docking. So the revenue is reduced as the reason I mentioned before. So revenue is decreased to 3 billion baht, but the gross profit is still positive. But however, the net profit to TTA is a net loss of 511 million baht. Yet, how on the bright side, the share of profit of associate and joint venture increased by 65% year on year to 260 million baht because of the adjustment of the internal bareboat charter rate. The order book at year end was $95 million, with, of which 65% was national oil company accounts. This is our strategy to secure the customer that who is a national oil company, because they always have a strong demand about the subsea service. Now let's move to page 17. It's a agrochemical segment. On the upper right chart, this is a sales volume. This year, Vietnamese farmer, so they suffer from a low agricultural price over the major crop like coffee, rice, and fruits. So they opt for cheaper but less efficient fertilizer. However, we still secure almost the same sales volume like last year, but we got a shift in product mix toward the lower price product, as we say that the farmer opt to use a lower price product rather than a better efficiency fertilizer. So, however, we secure the volume, but but less price. And then our export fertilizer sales volume increased 3% year on year to 67,200 tons, mainly due to the recovery from Philippines, and we got a new market from Myanmar. For agrochemical segment, we still have factory area for leasing and service as well. The total rented space is 66,420 square meter. Usually we always got a fully rented. But in 2018, we used some space to store our raw material, so occupancy rate is maybe a little bit less than 100%, but it's in range of like 98 or 99%. So at the product mix was shift to lower price product, the revenue is, but we got the revenue slightly dropped 4% year on year, but the gross profit is decreased. And then we have net profit to TTA of 26 million baht in 2018. For investment segment, as we mentioned before, this year we have a new investment, is at Taco Bell. We are the sole franchisee of Taco Bell in Thailand. This is the picture that I want to show you. This is the overwhelming response on the grand opening of the first outlet of Taco Bell in January 2019. You can see that hundreds of people waiting in line just want to be the first in the restaurant at Taco Bell. Okay. The bottom picture, this is a picture like after 2 months after the 2 months of opening. So we still have a long queue waiting to eat to go in Taco Bell and to enjoy it. Another business under investment is Pizza Hut. We are sole franchisee of Pizza Hut in Thailand as well. At the end of the year, we have 137 outlets, which is 29 outlets additional from the 2017. The key success drivers for the Pizza Hut is to have, first is branding. Pizza Hut is a worldwide brand. Okay. And another thing is our new store, new design that we have with the health. We have a new style, new store expansion with the healthy performance, and with the style of we call FCD, fast casual Delco. And then we have a new tasty menu. In 2018, we create many new menu, new tasty menu. And the last but not least is we try to have a competitive in the digital accessibility by we have online order and sort of thing and social order, something like that. And for water business, TTA is acquired 80.5% equity stake in Asia Infrastructure Management. This is a Thai water contractors company, and we hope that we expect that this will create a synergy with our existing company called TTA Suez, which is a joint venture with the Suez, the global company is a expertise on water management. And now I will be back to Kun Jiten on market outlook.
Hi, as we had discussed in the revenue slide, that 84% is covered by three major segments of shipping, offshore, and agrochemical. Out of these three, agrochemical being 20% is quite stable business and has a fairly stable outlook that whatever we produce, the farmers consume on the NPK side. So I'm not focusing on that part. I'm focusing on the other two segments related to shipping and offshore. Within the shipping, if we look at the slide 23, which we are presenting, dry bulk business outlook. The total dry bulk trade, that means the availability of the freight, has always been growing. The chart here shows the volumes from 2008 until 2018 and also projecting 2019 and 2020. This data is from Clarkson's research, so it's a third-party data. And it shows the grains, the coking coal, the minor bulks, steam coal, iron ore, and the other ingredients for the freight. The average global seaborne dry bulk trade is fairly moderate increase in terms of tons in full year at about 2.3% growth. However, the ton miles, which is estimated at a healthier growth rate of 2.9%. So you see the ton miles have a greater influence in the sense that the material, same material this year moved much farther from locations. The Chinese steel production remained firm in 2018, and the estimate for the 2019 also is looking quite strong at this stage. Excuse me. Accordingly, the global seaborne dry bulk trade is projected to grow around by about 2.2% in terms of tons and by about 2.5% in terms of ton miles. So that's on the demand side for the dry bulk side. Those facts are good news, because that is the trend which we have been observing for many years, that this part of the demand is always growing. So the major issue we need to now look at is the supply side of the shipping, which we show in the next slide. If you look at the topmost slide graph on the topmost left side, which shows the bulk carrier fleet development. This chart shows right back from 1996. The bulk carrier fleet development has increased rapidly around 2007, 2006 until about 2014-15, and then it had kind of stabilized, or I would say a very stable growth going forward. Within that chart, we see four colors depicting Capesize, Panamax, Handymax, and Handysize. For TTA's business, is Handymax and Handysizes. So if we look at that part of the graph, the Handysize has been pretty stable over the years, and Handymax has shown a very small growth. So with this supply side being under control, the volumes available for freight are very conducive, and the pricing is stabilized. And that's during this period, 2017-18, we see a growth in the revenue for the TTA's business, which is expected to be on the similar trend in 2019 and the time period to come after that. This improved fleet growth of 2.9% was estimated for the full year of 2018, and this was matching the growth. And overall, looking to 2019, the analysts, based on the analysts' projections, we expect that the bulker supply and demand to stay balanced. However, challenges within the year may remain, and as we saw in the first quarter, there were certain hiccups in that revenue projection, which has been managed very well with the lower supply of ships in this period. On the next slide, for offshore services business outlook, for Mermaid, we have a strong order book of $95 million in hand, which is almost equal to the revenue projected for 2019. And besides the order book of $95 million in hand, we expect almost 100 new projects in offshore services, which are expected to be approved by various oil companies, which we would be targeting and bidding for, and hope to get good sizable amount out of that. But as of now, we can't confirm what our numbers would that be. Our major ships, Asiana, Sapphire, and Endurer, continue to operate in the Middle East, and that's where our potential business is. And all our 3 jackup rigs, AOD 1, 2, and 3, they are fully occupied with Aramco of Saudi Arabia up to the end of the year 2019. One of the rigs, AOD 1, has already been renewed for next 3 years, albeit at a little bit lower day rate, as is the market now. And the other 2 rigs are also expected to be renewed when the time comes in the period of July and October. With this strong order book and a strong financial position, the balance sheet staying strong at the and having a low gearing, backed with sufficient cash reserves, we believe that offshore service is able to get into the year 2019 and 2020 with strong weapons in its armory to weather the storms and challenges which would come its way, and we would be bidding for the orders going forward. With this, we come to the end of our presentation, and we would be ready to take any questions from the floor.
Okay, now we have some question online. Okay. The question is, what is the Capex set aside for the respective business segment?
At this time, we are not disclosing the respective business segments Capex. We have set a target of about 1.5 billion baht for the total for TTA. Predominantly, it would be used for acquisition of ships and for expansion of our businesses in other business segments.
Okay. So another question is there any potential to increase the dividend payout?
I think this will be a matter for the board to consider, and I think board has already proposed the numbers, and now it's up to the shareholders meeting to decide on that dividend payout. We'll take it up and see how it goes in the shareholder demand. But as a policy, like we had mentioned in the beginning of our slides, that at least 25% of the net profits we always keep for dividend payout, and we have maintained that for this year also. We are declaring much higher payout. I think it's closer to 44%, if I'm right. And therefore, the scope of increasing the dividend payout from this level may be very little, but I'll still leave it to the meeting of the shareholders to debate and decide on any other dividend payout if there is a plan.
Okay, another question is why the revenue of offshore service in 2018 was decreased from 2017?
As mentioned by Kunpatra in her slides, and I also hinted at it, Mermaid had 4 of its ships on dry docking service, which made it difficult to put those ships on the market and earn revenue. That was the major reason for the drop in the revenue of offshore service in 2018 as compared to 2017. This dry docking was part of a scheduled effort, so no emergencies there. Therefore, we look forward to 2019 with a increased revenue over 2018. Any other questions?
Okay, another question, a little bit long question about the food and the food business. Okay, so the question is how many branches of Taco Bell you would like to open in 2019 and the next 2 years? And where is your focus area in Bangkok only?
Like I mentioned earlier, for Taco Bell, in the next 5 years, we would target to open almost about 40 stores, and the focus will be in major towns and cities all across Thailand, not only across Bangkok. The next question.
They ask about Pizza Hut. Could you please comment on your potential competitor? Also, what is the barrier to get more customer?
About Pizza Hut, please comment on your potential competitors. I really don't know what you want us to comment on. I mean, everybody knows the potential competitor. If you look at the Pizza Hut sector itself, the major company would be the pizza company, and they are pretty strong in the market. They have much larger base of restaurants within the market of Thailand, and they have their own brand. They don't have to pay royalties to the Yum company. Besides the Pizza Hut sector, I would say the complete QSR business segment, the quick service restaurant business segment is a competitor, because if you have to eat pizza and that time you want to eat KFC, that also becomes a competitor to pizza, because at one time a customer would eat any one given food. What's the barrier to get more customers? I would say it's the customer's own preference. Otherwise, there is no barrier. If they like to eat rice, they'll go for rice. They like to eat pizza, they'll come to pizza. They want to go for eating chicken. So it's purely, in my mind, the customer's preferences as to what they would like to eat.
Yeah,
thank you.
I want to add that on. We believe in our strong brand of Pizza Hut. That's why we invest in the Pizza Hut, and we believe as our taste is tasty and we have a quality on that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Patra, to elaborate on that.
Yes. Okay, and I think this is the last question. They said, could you elaborate more on potential new businesses that you on the lookout for? Which sector and key criteria aside from less cyclical in nature?
For 2019 specifically, we are kind of focusing on whatever we have acquired up to now to strengthen that core itself, the food business, the water business which we have just acquired, and our existing businesses of shipping, agrochemical, and also for 2019, predominantly we are not looking at anything outside these businesses or these sectors. However, if there is any strong opportunity which presents itself or which is shown to our board, that would definitely, we would consider that on its own merit. However, the intention is to stay focused and try to improve on what we already have. And we keep looking at various things, but nothing in the pipeline as of now, other than consolidating and expanding on whatever we have. So no new businesses, I hope. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I think we answer all of your questions and we end the presentation. And if you have further questions, you can contact us by email us at investor@thoresen.com. Investor with S, okay, investors@thoresen.com.
You can show it on the last slide.
Okay.
That's on the last slide.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, and we really appreciate the time given to us and the interest in our company, and we continue to strive to make better efficiency in our company so that we can take care of the shareholder wealth increase. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.